Alright, so I'm not really sure what we're supposed to do here, but I'm pretty sure I have to present somehow, so I don't want to fail this, so I'm going to do it this way. So we talked about the Space Force, and the first thing I have here is website critique. So on the front page, some things that stood out to me were the fact sheets heading, because I think that's interesting, because if you ever need to know something, you can just click right there, and it's on the home screen ready. Because there's a lot of actually questions I had about the space and the force, everything that's gonna happen. I don't know a lot about space, and because I know we've been to space. I don't understand what the point is though. And if you click on that, it basically explains anything you need to know. The homepage is really easy to navigate because it has just as headings. I think the first one's leadership, then fact sheets, and then you can ask questions on there and you can get responses from people. I was really intrigued by the leadership tab because I didn't know who was running all of this. I didn't really know fine details. So the leader of this is is basically a military general. And I clicked on that leadership tab and it told me what I wanted to know. Alright, for the next two, I have the two positive articles. So, pro Space Force. I looked up why you should pro Space Force articles, and one of the ones that came up was from Daily News, and it talks about how the term Guardians has a long history, and the historical background from the name, because that's what the Space Force would be called. The people that work there, they'll be the Guardians. The article talks about how the men and women who have been doing these jobs for years are going to be recognized because they should. And the author of the article was Tim Balk of New York Daily News, and I looked him up to make sure it just wasn't some brand new person. And he's a veteran writer, so it does have some credibility. And basically, this article from the Daily News just talks about how it's been a long time coming that the people that fix satellites and do all this stuff, that's risky, and it's time. It basically says that it's time for them to be recognized, and what better to do so than make it a branch of the military. The next website I picked for the positive articles was from actually one of your favorite sources, I believe. It's from NPR. So it's pretty reliable, and it actually had both sides. If you're pro or if you're anti-Space Force, it had both of them on it. The next website I picked was from NPR, and they claim that fighting in space is important to protect our satellites, and that the Space Force is also creating new jobs. Basically protecting those satellites from anti-satellite missiles. I think I read that China actually has been practicing taking down their satellites with some type of rocket. And what these Guardians are going to do is they're going to try to basically make it sure so no one could take down their satellites. Also, the Space Force is creating new jobs, obviously, as anything would when you're upgrading. They're getting a higher budget, so of course new stuff is going to come in. They're going to need people to fix it, so that'll create new jobs. And also, people in the Air Force can transfer. They can transfer to the Space Force. I'm sure if you're a airplane mechanic or something, I'm sure you could get a job working for the Space Force. Alright, so next, I'll show you the slide too. You'll see it though whenever I send it. Two negative articles I have. It's from a pretty reliable source, and I actually was kind of interested because I'm pretty sure that they usually post stuff about net worths of people. It was from Forbes, and they claim that it will disrupt vital military relationships. This is the anti-Space Force. They say that if we have more people doing stuff in space and about space, they would impede and confuse other military arrangements. It didn't put a lot of background into this. And so what I'm guessing that means is I kind of feel like there's a little mutual agreement with everyone to just chill out in space. Like, I feel like right now, I feel like basically what I'm trying to say is in the future, I feel like something big time is going to happen in space. I feel like right now everyone just wants to, it's like kicking the can down the road. Pretty much just, let's deal with this. We're just not going to start with this right now. That's what I feel like is happening. And that's why I was interested that Forbes posted that. And then the next negative Space Force article was written by, I've never heard of this, and I tried to find if it was reliable, but it has a web page. It looked pretty professional, so I'm guessing you can look it up if you want. It's called, it's written by Slate, and it was titled Space Farce. And basically, they say the U.S. defense budget already spends way too much to make a new branch. Like, we spend too much money on the defense that a whole new branch, like, why? That's basically what it says. And the branch that, let me see. Basically, it claims that the Space Force has already been doing these jobs for years. So why do they need more money and why do they need recognized? Basically, the whole article was complaining about the U.S. defense budget. It wasn't even just for Space Force, but it highlighted the Space Force the most. Basically, they say America just spends an ungodly amount of money on our military, and to spend more on basically a thing that we don't need. They claim that we don't need. That's what they say. That's why they're negative for it. It's nothing about the actual like jobs that they do. It's nothing like that. It's literally just like the force and the money. They don't want us to spend money. It said nothing negative about what the people in the Space Force do. It just basically highlighted the money factor. It was all about the money in there for this website here. So that's the last of the two negative articles. And the last thing I have here is my take. I am pro Space Force. For the number one reason, I think these people should be seen as heroes and veterans. They work on the satellites, which keeps us safe. And it's risky work. And they should be seen as guardians because they are. If we don't have people doing that, we could get destroyed because those satellites, they show missiles, they show stuff that could hurt our country and other countries. And I think we should have it because I think it's crucial. And the people that say the Space Force, we shouldn't have it because like the defense budget, my rebuttal to them is the reason nothing ever happens here in America, rarely, besides 9/11, which is a freak accident, is because our defense budget is like, I saw it one time, I'm pretty sure it's literally like, if you combine like all the countries below us, like 8 countries below us, their defense budget, and multiply it together, ours is still more, or something ridiculous like that. I mean, yeah, I think that we do spend a ton, but I think it pays off. Like I don't think it's a waste because nothing ever happens here. If anything would ever happen here, there had to be a freak accident because it's like impossible to get here. And America has a big target on our backs. And I don't think that spending more for the Space Force would hurt our country at all. I think it would do more good than harm. And I think in the future, there's going to be something that's going to happen big time in space. I think it's going to pay off. That's why I'm not worried about the budget at all. I think in the future, there's going to be some type of, not like a space race, but like not trying to get somewhere, but like I think people are going to start doing stuff in space because history always repeats itself. And I think it would make total sense. We should be ready to go now instead of when it happens. Just like it's happened through history for us before. Like I think it was maybe World War I. We weren't ready. We weren't ready at all. That's why we didn't go to the end. we didn't start to the end because we had to get supplies and stuff ready. I think we should be ready now because I strongly believe something is going to happen big in space. Yeah, so that is my Space Force project. And I'm not really sure what I was supposed to do for like a video or something, so I'm just gonna send you this, and if it's wrong you can just write on it something. I think I was supposed to send you a video of me presenting, so thanks.